We fixin' to make this town real smoking.
I have a Reddit post I made about one Yoshi move that I've despised for 15 plus years, and I want your opinion on it if you'll let me post it in chat.
Yoshimitsu's full crouch down forward 1 samurai cutter has carried Yoshi players for 30 years and has terrorized the franchise for too long. This move has been my biggest gripe about the character since Tekken 5 DR, and I'm tired of it. I've hated Yoshi players for 20 years, and with Tekken 8 this unk is tired. Yoshimitsu's full crouch samurai cutter. Why does this move still exist after all these years? 15 plus years I've heard just hopkick, only to be launched by this unstoppable space ninja. What possessed Bandai Namco to make a move like this unblockable? His no sword stance full crouch, so the other one that has the blockable, which was added in Tekken 6 onwards, is blockable and punchable and is perfectly balanced, yet they still left the unblockable samurai cutter unchecked. I don't care if it's been in the game for 30 years, this move is trash and has carried Yoshi players since Tekken became online multiplayer experience. Other than this move, Yoshi is fine, but y'all Yoshi players have been abusing this move since I was a kid, and y'all deserve internal nerf hammer. Nerf/remove this move in the next patch. Okay, so the question that I would ask you, my friend, is how do you suggest they nerf it? It's 26 frames fast. It does 12 damage. It's unblockable. It's an instant tornado. It has reduced range compared to previous games. The tracking on paper is said to be reduced, but it still hits sometimes. Allow us to block it. So what should it be on block? This low from Yoshimitsu, minus 12, minus 26, minus 17, minus 15, minus 11, minus 13, minus 16, minus 16, minus 13. What are the lows do Yoshimitsu have? Oh yeah, minus 25, 19, 19, 19, 26. The same as the North Sword version for starters. So you want Yoshimitsu's low unblockable to be blockable and minus 15. Would you give him any compensation buffs? I mean, you're taking away, a very integral tool to his gameplay. Yoshimitsu was built around low unblockable. So how would you compensate for that? Like, this is why all of his other lows are so bad, is because he has the low unblockable. And they're kind of slow. Like, this move is reactable. This move, you can mash your punish, and when Yoshimitsu stops kicking, you immediately punish him. This move is reactable. All of his other lows are reactable. And the unblockable is technically reactable, but he could create scenarios to where it becomes unreactable with frame advantage, right? Like wall Loki stuff. This one is not reactable, but it's minus 12 on block. It has no high crushing, and it does very low damage. It's a poke. Basically, what I'm saying is, would you flip the switch then? And I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just asking you these questions, right? If you nerf his unblockable, which all of his other lows are bad because of it, would you then buff all of his other lows to make them more viable? Because, I mean, if you make his unblockable launch punishable, then all of his other moves being reactable and launch punishable should cease to exist. Now, I'm not saying make all of his lows no longer launch, but some of them. To be honest, I think that's a fair trade. Okay, I just wanted to see what you would think about it. Fair trade, okay. I think minus 15 is a bit too much. He would need faster startup, in my opinion. Low sweep is core to his ID. Flash is spin. Leroy complaining about lows is a bit much. Every character needs some unique cheat. Problem is they buffed everyone's tools beyond the unique in the game. Make his unblockable 30 frames like Lily's blockable 30 frame tornado low. I mean, I don't know what that would do in terms of frames, because this move at high level is only really used in Oki because it's so slow already. Like, I mean, this move, you could kind of like get a read on this one, and it's 18, 19. The thing is this one is 6 frames slower, but it's an unblockable. Put it like this. At pro level, it's a useless tool unless you're using it in Oki. And if you made it 4 frames slower, it probably wouldn't even work in Oki, and it then would become a useless tool in online. And at that point, it's like, how slow is too slow for it to do what it's supposed to do? And I'm not arguing against you guys. I'm just asking you guys these questions, right? Because this is what the developers would do, right? If you told the developers to nerf the move, they would literally sit there and go through all these questions. Because it's easy to say fix the character or fix the move, but this is what the developers would do. They would think like, okay, his whole kit is built around this move. How would we fix this? Going back to what Snake said about every character needs cheap moves, let me see if I can find a tweet from IMOP. How off of this one parry right here, Jin does this huge combo. And now there's 12 seconds on the clock. Lars is half health. And Jin does this huge combo. And basically, you know, waste all the time. And I probably would have killed. This is where Nee steps in and says, Jin parry. The launcher should be gone. He is the only character who can parry difficult to defend situations or opponent's main tools easily and convert it into a launcher. Since the hit engager is now +9, so his parry has become even stronger. Only 13 frame moves should be allowed. Now, when he said this, it was very controversial because people kind of like uniqueness, and what he is suggesting would make Jin less unique. Even though the tool is powerful, it's the way that only Jin's parry work. IMOP says, have to disagree. It's unique to Jin, and parry range from not giving anything guaranteed to a launcher. The game needs more unique gameplay elements, even if it's strong in tournaments. This person says, using this logic, Yoshimitsu Flash and low unblockable launchers are also unique, and we shouldn't touch them. Let's give King his homie throws because they're unique. Jin can have his parry, but Marduk tackle is oppressive. Now, IMOP responds to this and says, 1. Yoshi Flash and unblockable should be strong. 2. King's grabs should be strong. 3. Marduk's tackle should be strong. Any character trait that's identifiable or unique to the character should be strong. Nerf the other aspects to balance it out. That's kind of what they did with Yoshimitsu. As I demonstrated, all of his lows are launch punishable, reactable, punishable, or do low damage. This is his, you know, he has to poke with this. There's probably other characters that exist, but like how common is it for a character to have to poke with a launch punishable low? Let me read what you said. My thing is, most unblockables are situational. Every character has one, some better than others. Yoshi, Brian, Tanjiro Upper, for example. It's just his low is so good that it makes or breaks the game. I would say that you are not wrong, but it's the conditions that are created that allows for you to be right. Yoshimitsu's low unblockable, it should be an unblockable. The issue is that Tekken 8 allows for you to create so much of a disadvantageous situation, where that's through, you know, frames, or whether that's like mental stacks, whether that's just fear, because the developers know this is something that, you know, they take this into consideration when balancing. We have proof of this because the way they designed Heihachi in Tekken 6 and the way they designed the game after Tekken 6. They explained a thing called heavy guards. A heavy guard is basically when they put a plus animation on the character when the character is actually launch punishable. This is it right here, right? I read this before in detail. I made a video about it. But it basically says here how the developers know that, like, if you make a move look scary, people will be less likely to stop it or retaliate, even though it's very effective for them to do so. And the issue with Tekken 8 is that Yoshimitsu can create so many of those situations with the way the walls work. Him being able to tornado you on the wall, him being able to, you know, pancake flip you with 4-1+2, it creates a lot of these panic scenarios. And in those panic-like scenarios, the unblockable and all of Yoshimitsu's unblockables are vicious. The same thing with guard breaks. Steve Fox's guard break is technically reactable. There was a player who was on the stream a couple of months ago, and he was showcasing its reactability, and he was reacting to it. But the thing is that the reason why most players can't do it is because fear. You hesitate just long enough because he could do the mid. He could do nothing. And that hesitation is all you need for these barely reactable moves to kill you. And that's why when Steve can constantly set up that guard break, it's so cheap. When Lydia can set up the guard break, or she has that unblockable high, it's so cheap. Because technically you can crouch and launch it, but you're so afraid of the scenario to where you don't do it. And this even happens at pro level. We were watching whatever that tournament was like 2 days ago. And there was a person who was crouching under Lydia's unblockable, guessing correctly, but they were so afraid that they wouldn't have guessed correctly. As a result, they weren't punching it. I don't want to take away his unique attributes because he's a cornerstone of the franchise, but this move is crazy to me. Once again, I would agree with you, but I think if they were to go after Yoshimitsu's unblockable, it would do some things that we may not be prepared for. Like I always tell people, be careful what you ask for. The developers listened to the players and made a change, but then they had to make another change to compensate for it. And the compensation was far worse than the actual change that, like the way it was before. So that's all that I'm saying is like, if you guys want Yoshimitsu's low unblockable to be punishable, just be prepared for his other lows to become much more significant. Honestly, his whole toolkit. Because we didn't even talk about how his mids function based off of what his low unblockable does. Stop being scared of a move. That's it. Well, not necessarily, right? Because that's how this game is designed. This game is designed off of fear. This move has one of those heavy blocks where heavy guards we're talking about. For people who are at a lower level, when they see their character get pushed back like that, it tells them fear. It's literally in that document that I just showed. Like the developers know what they're doing. Certain impressions like that move is scary after blocking it, or that move is really punishable, the player tends to feel. Notice they use the word feel. Tekken 6 Attack 2 Heihachi, look at frame data, you may find out that he may not actually be a good character due to how bad his frame data may appear to be, given if you knew the data. If you knew the frame data, you would be like, oh, this character, everything is punishable. However, when playing against Heihachi inside a match, certain players may say that he has good moves since they feel, notice the feel word again, that you might not be able to punish the attack. They add a heavy guard onto the move so that you feel like you can't punish it. And he would only know to punish it if you knew the frame data. And that philosophy exists everywhere. It was born in Tekken 6 and Attack 2, but they carried this trend on through 7 and 8. It shows up everywhere. Bro pulled out the Tekken 8 Bible to explain this move. Hey, this is the most intricate and deep, thorough downplaying one has ever seen ever. Bro came into the stream and was talking about this low unblockable can't be unblockable no more. And then Moonsaw Slayer got to the most intricate downplaying ever. I explained so thoroughly why that move could not change. Bro left thinking, that was a good point. Hey, all of that anger, I am good at this. I am good at downplaying. Good thing I don't... I might be the greatest downplayer of all time. Oh my god, I might be the greatest downplayer of all time.